Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Jesus and Coffee Conversations. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today's video is going to be about relationships and involving God in the dating process. I had posted something on Instagram the other day, and I just want to say first, thank you so much to everyone that reaches out to me on Instagram asking for advice or just to tell me, that my videos and posts are helping you. I am so glad to hear that, and I am so glad to know that and honored that you guys value my opinion and you reach out for advice and all of that. And I'm glad to know that it is helping you. So thank you for that. Continue to reach out to me. If you haven't, I am here. You can reach out to me via email, which is in the description box below. Or if you follow me on Instagram, you can DM me. Facebook, same thing. You can send me a message. So get into the video. I posted something on Instagram that said, building your life with someone is a very serious matter. And then in the caption part, I put, involve God in the process every step of the way. So when it comes to dating, you have to involve God in the process. But I'm going to focus on the first part first, which is the building your life with someone. It is extremely crucial who you spend your life with, especially if you are desiring to get married. And it is so crucial because you don't want to marry the wrong person. And there are some guys that I dated that I just knew I was going to marry. And I think about it now and I'm like, thank God that that did not work out, because who knows where I would be right now, what I would be doing. And when you're in it, in the moment, you have tunnel vision. And so you're saying, okay, I'm gonna be, married with this person. This person is it. You're overlooking the red flags. You're overlooking the Holy Spirit letting you know something's not right. This is not the person. And a lot of people ignore all of that, and they end up married, and then they're wishing that they would have listened, because now their life is chaos. So when it comes to, when you're dating people, you have to pay attention to everything. You have to listen to what the person is telling you, and not think, and not try to twist what they're telling you. Like, and women especially will get for that. Like, a man would tell us something straight up, and we think that either he's scared or he's lying, or we could be the one to change his mind. We could be the one to be the exception to the rule. When the reality is, if a man is telling you something, then that's what he means. And it's not for us to try to twist it and try to make it into what we want it to be. No, if he tells you something that you ask, like maybe you guys are talking about monogamy or something in a relationship, and if he says, well, I don't believe that men are meant to be monogamous, he's trying to tell you that I'm not going to be faithful to you, pretty much. Like, you have to be able to read between the lines and pay attention to what he's saying. Like, really listen to what he's telling you, because a man will tell you exactly what he's thinking, what his thought process is, where he's going, where he sees things. But you have to pay attention and really, listen to what he's telling you. So, you want to also make sure you're careful with who you have kids with, because you're going to be stuck with that person for the rest of your life if you have children with them. And there are a lot of people that are not even in relationships anymore, but they have kids, and they have those kids with the wrong person, and now they're stuck with that person because of the kids. So just because you're tired of being single, just because you're lonely, that doesn't mean that you need to be desperate, that you just overlook, all of these red flags and warnings just because you want to say you have somebody, just because you want to get married, just because you hear your clock ticking in your ear, just because your family and friends are harassing you about, getting married and when are you going to do it and all of that. There's no reason just to like jump into something with someone. Like, you really want to take the time to get to know the person and really make sure that you guys are equally yoked and you're on the same page and you have the same vision for your relationship. And that's where it comes with involving God in the process. And this is something that I've learned recently. I'm going to say, like, maybe within the last year, I've learned this. Um, because before, I wasn't really involving God in the process. And I would just, like, date just to be dating, or, just because somebody showed interest in me, or I thought he was really, fine, and I wanted to talk to him and all of that. And I would just not even consider God in that process. And now that I think about it, if I had put God in the center of it and asked him, is this person for me? It could have saved me a lot of heartache. It could have saved me a lot of time wasted. It could have saved me a lot of energy wasted. And so that was a lesson that I had to learn the hard way. And it comes with age too. I think once you hit 30, that's where a lot of your wisdom kicks in, because okay, I'm at this age now. I don't have the time for the games. I don't have the time for people not knowing what they want. And I don't have time to be bed hopping and doing all of this crazy stuff. Like, I know that I want a family, and I know that I'm ready to build a life with someone. So I got involved in the process. And what that looks like for me is I would, I talk to God and I say, okay, God, I'm interested in this person. Or even if me and the person have exchanged phone numbers or whatever, and we're talking, I will go to God and I say, okay, God, I'm interested in this person. And if he is not your best for me, if he is not who you want me to be with, let it fall apart. And I know some people have a problem with that prayer. Some people say you shouldn't pray that prayer because it takes away your responsibility, and you're relying more on God than your own discernment or whatever. I pray that prayer and I'm sticking to it. But I do also have discernment, and I go on that. Sometimes the Holy Spirit will let me know, like, immediately something just doesn't feel right with the person. And so I would listen to it. But then there are times, like, God just lets the relationship fall apart. And once I was talking to a guy for a long time, like 3 months, and something happened. And that's when I realized, okay, that this is not who God wants me to be with. And that was really hard for me because I really liked him, and I really, I knew, I was like, okay, this is going to be the guy for me, and, all of that. I was really excited about it. But then it fell apart because God was like, no, he's not it. Another situation, I was talking to somebody, and, like, it was over before it even started, like maybe a week, 2 weeks. And that fell apart. And so having God in the process, and I'm glad that it fell apart early, because it saves you a lot of attached feelings and emotions. So excuse me. And involving God in the process looks different for everybody, because everybody is in a different walk with God. We're not all the same. So the way that I involve God in the process is completely different from the way that you might involve God in the process. But either way, whatever it looks like for you, you want to make sure that God is involved in that process. And like I said, that means going to God, let him know that you are interested in this person, and for him to remove any blinders that you might have, because especially like in the early stages, we have on these blinders and we see the good parts of them. We see how fine they are. We see how nice they are. We see what they show us on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And there's so much more to it than that. And God can see the things that we can't see, and he knows the things that we don't know. So just going to God and saying, okay, this is the person, this is who I'm interested in. Can you remove, the blinders from my eyes and my ears so that I can see what I need to see and hear what I need to hear? And he will do it because he loves you, and he doesn't want you with the wrong person. And so that's one way to get him involved in the process, saying, okay, open up my eyes, open up my ears, let me see, let me hear. The next way could be like I do. If this is not of you, if this is not the person that you have for me, let it fall apart. Let something happen, then it falls apart. Now, with that, it could fall apart, but then you also have to go and say, okay, God, I know things fell apart, but if you're still feeling like that person might be the one for you, then it could be, you could just say, okay, God, I know things fell apart, but if it is your will, then you'll work it out so that we get back together. Because it could be that, okay, God brought you together for just a moment, but there's still some things that he needs to work out in you, or there's still some things that he needs to work out in the other person before the two of you are actually ready for that relationship. So that's why you want to make sure that you are hearing from God clearly. If God clearly says this is the person for you, and things don't work out, that doesn't necessarily mean that that is not the person for you. Like I said, it could just be the two of you got some stuff going on that God still has to work out in you, but he brought y'all together just to, so that you both will know, okay, this is my best. Like, this is God's best. So that's another thing that could, you could pray about too when things do fall apart. But you involving God in the process is something that you need to do from the beginning, not after you've been talking to this person for a long time. It needs to be from the very beginning. And there's sometimes I might pray, okay, if the person is not for me, don't even let them say anything to me. Because especially if you've had broken relationship after broken relationship, things just not working out with people, you get to a point where you're just tired and you don't feel like going through all of that all over again. So you can just say, okay, you know what, God, if that man is not for me, don't let him say anything to me. Don't let me say anything to him. And then I don't have to worry about, talking to him for a little bit and things not working out. So that's another prayer, that you could pray is, God, don't let him say anything to me. Let the man that is for me be the one to get through and be able to approach me or talk to me or whatever. But involve God in the process. Really think about what you want and pay attention to what the other person wants as well. Pay attention to what they're saying. Because the one that's for you, both of you will have like similar vision. So your life might be going down one path. The person you're interested in, his or her life should be going down a similar path. And if it's not, then that person might not be for you, because if both of you are serious about the things of God and both of you know what you want and all of that, then you have similar vision and you're going down a similar path. If you want to, I don't know, be a pastor or something, and the person you're interested in has no desire to be a pastor, no desire to be a pastor's wife, no desire to be going to church every Sunday or anything like that, then that person probably is not for you, because they're going to bring you down instead of lifting you up and helping you get to where God is trying to take you. So the person that you're interested in should have a similar vision and a similar life plan, so that the two of you are going down the same path. And if you involve God in that process, he'll let you know immediately that no, this is not the one. And when he tells you immediately, don't start thinking, okay, is that really you, God, or is that just my fear kicking in because I've been hurt before, or is it this, is it that? If God is saying that is not the person for you, then pay attention to that and stop talking to them, because that person is not the person for you. So just pay attention to your discernment, pay attention to the Holy Spirit, pay attention to the signs and all of that stuff to avoid heartache and all that in the future. And I know being single can be tough. And I am still single. And I have moments where it is really tough. And then I have moments where I'm like, I got this. So it's like a roller coaster. It's up and down. Every day is different. But just know that God heard your prayer about desiring marriage, and know that if you desire marriage, then you're not called to be single. If you're called to be single, you won't have a desire for marriage whatsoever. But if you have a desire for marriage and a desire to start your own family and all of that, then that is what God has in store for you. And you just have to trust Him with that and trust Him with His timing. And I know women, especially with society, we have like our clocks. There's a short window in which we can have children. And all of that. And so we start getting fearful and scared when we hit a certain age and it hasn't happened yet. And so we just start dating whoever just to be dating. And maybe we marry whoever just to say we're married and we can get this family, things started. But you have to be careful with that. I don't care how bad you desire to be married and have a family. It's not worth your peace of mind. And you won't have peace of mind if you are married to the wrong person, or if you're dating the wrong person. So trust God and wait on Him and wait on His timing, and know that everything will work out when it's time. There might be some stuff in you that God needs to work out and you have no idea, because you're not spending the time with Him to figure out why it hasn't happened for you yet. Like, it really could be some issues that you have that you haven't dealt with yet. And God is like, if you just talk to me, I can tell you what you need to work on so that you can be prepared for your spouse. Because there's nothing worse, too, than meeting the right person that God has for you and not being ready for them. So preparation is everything. And that looks like making sure that you are emotionally healed, that you are physically healed, you're spiritually healed, you're healthy and you're whole and you're complete on your own as a single first before you try to date and get married to someone. So if you haven't worked on yourself, then no, you're not ready for marriage. If you're selfish, no, you're not ready for marriage. If you have a hard time submitting, no, as a woman, no, you're not ready for marriage. And people have such a huge problem with the word submission because they think that makes you a doormat, and that's not what submission is at all. Submission is being able to say, my husband is the head of the household, because that's what the Bible says, and I'm able to submit to him and his vision. That doesn't mean that he's not going to take what you say into consideration. That doesn't mean that he makes all the decisions on his own. It means that you guys talk about it together as husband and wife, and he just has the final say so. He hears what you're saying. He takes what you say into consideration. But at the end of the day, the final decision boils down to what your husband says, because he's the head of the household. And if you can't submit, then that's going to be a problem. Especially if you're talking about you want a godly marriage and a godly relationship. A godly marriage, a godly relationship requires you to submit to your husband. But that's the topic for another video. So anyway, I hope that this video helped you guys. Make sure that you like, share, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. I'll put my email, social media, books, all of that information in the description box below for you. And I have a brand new brand ambassador opportunity that I will talk to you guys about in another video. So make sure that you come back for that. Enjoy the rest of your not Saturday, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.